Okay. Welcome to Rogers That Podcast. Your host for today podcast is Julia, Giselle, and Isabel and Tracy. And today we have a great opportunity to interview Scott Brundage, who is a talented artist. Welcome, Scott. Thank you for taking time to talk with us today. Our goal is to help our viewers learn more about what it takes to become an artist. We really appreciate you joining us.
Thanks for having me, guys. Fun to be here.
Oh, okay. Where were you born and where did you grow up?
I was born in Connecticut in '81, so I'm old. I grew up in Connecticut until about 18. Then I went to school in Philly.
What middle school did you go to? What middle school did you go to? And what was middle school like for you?
I went to Broadview. Apologies. It was. I feel like it's my lost years. I was like trying to figure out who I was, and not get picked on too much, which is one of the benefits of having a sketchbook and being good at drawing, is you can just distract them with a pretty picture and then get away. Yeah, I had a good time overall, but rough.
What college did you go to and what was it like?
I went to University of the Arts in Philadelphia. I don't know. It was weird because going to school all my life in Danbury, got very used to that. And then I went to like a big city and a lot more intense being there. Everything's expensive. You're walking everywhere. I didn't realize how cold it would get because in Danbury, when it's cold out, you put on a jacket, get to your car, then you go to a building. But imagine having to walk every day to school when it's like 20 degrees. Like all of a sudden I realized I was very underdressed. But it was nice being in a big city. It's always, there's crowds and stuff, but there's always excitement going on. I enjoyed it.
Yeah. How long have you been interested in art for?
I think that I can remember like second grade. It was more that like I was a very not athletic and didn't like doing stuff as a kid. So my mom and dad really wanted me to like find something I was interested in. So they kind of threw everything at me. Like they tried to get me to play t-ball. I'd hit the ball at the tee and just go sit down. Didn't know there's a running involved, and I was not doing that. I did judo for 2 weeks and didn't like that. And then finally they found like a cartooning class. And that's when I really got into art. Started because it was all stuff I already liked already. I like looking at dinosaurs. I like watching cartoons. I like reading comics. And they're like, all right, now draw them. I'm like, oh, okay, fine. Yeah, it's really fun.
Did you always know you wanted to be an artist when you grew up?
Yeah. And I didn't realize how rare that was until much later. But yeah, I think it's the kind of thing where I don't know if you guys are, young artists yourselves or you have like a skill. Yeah. But like when you're slightly good at something compared to your peers, you get a lot of feedback saying like, oh man, you're really good at that. And then do it more because you're encouraged and just kind of snowballs from there. So by the time like I got really into drawing at, second, third grade. So by the time I was in middle school, I was like a lot better than a lot of people around me. So you get known for doing it and you do it more and more. And I always enjoyed it. So I just kind of leaned into it,
Yeah. What is your favorite type of art, as in pencil drawings, watercolor, or painting?
To look at or to make?
To make.
Or did you?
I go back and forth. I think essentially a lot of my work is just is like storytelling and like a conveying an idea. So drawing is the clearest way to do that. But when I put on color, I'm kind of a watercolorist at heart, even though I work in acrylic. I just kind of like how, washes in water on paper and it soaks into the paper. I'm very used to that. It feels comfortable. Yeah.
Yeah. What did you do to get better at art?
Oh, a lot. So like I said, I took classes once a week and then 2 times a week, all through middle school and high school. Mainly I would either copy a cartoon or comic book page, or make my own. And because I was really enjoying it, the teacher gave me a sketchbook, and I would just carry a sketchbook around at all times. And that's probably the thing I would recommend to anyone is like always have a small sketchbook. So if you're bored, you can just do that instead of going on your phone. And like I kind of tracked that all, even though after college, I moved to New York and I always had a commute for my day job. So you'd be stuck on a train for at least 45 minutes every day back and forth. And it was before smartphones because again, I'm old. So I would just draw the guys in the train. You're getting jostled around and stuff, but like you get very used to compensating for that, and you get way good at drawing. You're just drawing weirdos all around you, and you'll start on someone's face, and they'll get up and get off the train, and you'll just finish it, and make it into a crocodile or something. You're always moving your pencil. You're always being creative, and you're learning because it's kind of thing where like a lot of the basics you get are from learning from observation, like seeing what's in front of you and trying to copy it. But you become really creative when you start doing it out of your head because you've learned all those fundamentals. It's kind of like you get your grammar and then you start speaking slang. Like you have to have it down first before you can start riffing on it. And just having a book in your pocket at all times. And like I would have a little bag of pens and markers just to get some color in there. Yeah, that's the best thing for it. Just the most important drawing is the next drawing. Just do a lot.
What were some of the main things you had to do to become a published artist?
Oof. Yeah, so you have to get really good. And the thing is, I'm an illustrator specifically. And what I mean by that is that illustration is like a commercial art. So what you're doing is you're either explaining what a story looks like or selling a book cover. The book cover has to tell you what this book is about and who's it for in one image. Or you're getting hired by a magazine and they give you an article and you have to try to make that article look exciting in a 2x3 inch square that someone's flipping through real fast. So you have to get really good at conveying an idea or an emotion or something in an instant read. And then you have to also figure out, is this for a 12-year-old? Is this for a 17-year-old? Or is this for an adult? And it has to come through. Like if someone's reading a book, say like in public, and it has a big Spider-Man on it, you wouldn't expect like your grandma in like a very nice outfit to be wearing that. You think like, whoa, she's got really interesting ideas. Same thing with like a 12-year-old reading something with like a really steamy guy with his shirt ripped open. It's okay. So yeah, a lot of it was knowing my market and having the skills to fit that market. And then what you do is you make a bunch of samples that could fit that, and you show it to all these people who work at these publishers, and you hope that they call you one day. So it's very uncertain and kind of weird. But when you get some momentum, it's like getting up on a log on a river. It's really hard to get up there, but once you get up there, if you keep running, you could probably stay up for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was one of your favorite book covers that you did?
Book covers specifically? I mean, I've done a lot that were specifically book covers. Like I was hired to do a book cover. And then I've also done some picture books where I had to do a book cover along with the rest. So I think the one that I liked the best that became just a book cover, it was called like Time Tracers or something like that. And it was about a kid who he has so much fun that he's disrupting the balance of how time works, because when you hang out with him, time goes by so quickly. So time police find him because time goblins are after him. Very weird thing. But the cover was like him like looking at his watch, and there's all these blue spider goblins with human feet. And then there's on the back cover, there's a bus breaking through a wall, hitting a bunch of them. It's just one of the more bizarre, fun covers I've done. And then I think my favorite one for a book cover, it was called Where's My Cow? And it's about a cattle egret, like a little bird that's afraid to go to the beach because he's worried he won't find his cow when he comes back, his favorite cow. So the cover is a bunch of cow butts, and he's standing on one going like this. And when you turn it over, it's the front of all the cows, and his butt is in the back on that. And it was all one image, just designed so I could do it. It was just really fun and a fun idea to put on there.
What is your favorite piece you've ever drawn?
I think it's a toss-up on one I just did and one that's like probably most famous. I don't know if you guys went to my website before you started talking, but there's a cover I did for a short story called The Builders, and it's basically a bunch of Western style animals with weapons. Like they had just killed a bunch of rats in a saloon in the Old West, but they're all accurate looking to size and scale, dressed like gunslingers. But it's like a rodent, a mole, a big badger with like a machine gun. And like what I did, I just somehow I nailed the light and the storytelling is perfect. It was like one of those things where I didn't realize how good it was until I stepped back from it. And then more recently, for an art show, I was invited to do one of the more terrifying things for me when I go from being really busy and people telling me I need you to draw this for a magazine or I need you to design this for a show. When they say like just make something, my mind goes completely blank. So I have to go think about what do I really like drawing. And when I'm bored and I don't know what else to draw, I usually draw some kind of monkey or a chimp or something. So I was like, all right, but I don't just want to draw something pretty. I always liked having an idea. So it was based on the phrase "love at first sight." So it's like a lounge bar, like from like a noir film, and like there's a chimp in the foreground and he's like showing like he's really interested in the stage. And the stage there's just a banana singing with like a spotlight on it, and there's an animal ball all around him, and he's just falling in love with a banana. It's a really dumb joke, but like executed as well as I could do. I really like taking like a very silly idea and treating it incredibly seriously. Yeah.
Can you talk about some of the awards that you've won for your art?
I've won 2 like awards, and I've been including a bunch of competitions. The first one I won was for a fantasy art or a fantastic realism, basically a competition of drawing stuff that doesn't exist. And it was another illustration I did based off of a prompt. And it was like a Snapple fact kind of thing. Like tigers don't have striped, tigers have striped skin, not just striped fur. So the image I made was a tiger with when it gets back from the vent, has a big cone on its head. And it's like guys back to the audience, and there's a little shave spot where he had some surgery, and you can see the stitches, but also you can see the skin is striped. So it's just like that's my clever way of solving that, and that got me a silver medal in that competition, which was like really nice because it came out of nowhere. I never even entered that competition before, and that kind of skewed how easy I thought it was to get in there because I tried 2 more years and didn't get in the next 2 years. And then I got one for that builders piece, the Western piece. It got like bronze in another show. Yeah, I mean, those are only 2 big awards I got, but it was nice. I'll take them.
Oh, he goes. No, Julia goes.
Oh, what did you choose to do art of out of every job in the world?
I mean, sometimes I feel like it was a bad idea because like it's it's art, so it's very unpredictable. But I usually think that, and then 2 weeks later, I'm busier than I've ever been, and I'm like, I'm glad I'm doing this for my life. I don't know. It was something that, like I said, I was really good at it early, and I enjoyed it really early. So I just kept thinking, like, what can I do to keep this going? And I was really lucky to have really supportive parents who like encouraged it. And then my dad was an electrician in Danbury, but like all the towns around are really wealthy, so like he would work with these people, and one guy like did portraits for the president, like these big oil paintings, and he's like, here's my son's portfolio when I was like 13, and he's like looking at it and like gave me like honest feedback, and he checked in with me in college and stuff. I've had a bunch of weird mentors like that just kind of stumbled on, and it was always been encouraging. And I think another thing with art school, I was never like the best guy, but I was never the worst. So, and what happens with the worst people, they get discouraged and they quit. And then the very best, they stop trying so hard. And you stay in that middle, you're always kind of uncomfortable and trying to push something. And I've been like that, I guess, my whole career. And because of that, I keep growing. And that's I realize that that's a good thing. And that's what I like about art. It's kind of like, I don't know if you guys ever play role-playing games or, incremental things. And then all of a sudden your character is slightly stronger. I feel like that's me with my art skill all through my life. Just keep plugging at it.
What is your favorite sport and what are your favorite teams?
Okay, so it's weird. The only sport I follow is like track and field, so I only have to like, pay attention every 4 years for the Olympics. Um, yeah, exactly. But I don't really know basketball or anything else or football, so I can't really say what my favorite team is.
Me
But
and do track
nice,
after
nice,
school.
nice. Do you have favorite runners?
Yeah.
Who you
Uh,
got?
I don't know.
All right.
I do soccer.
Who is your favorite artist as in music?
In music?
Yeah.
Let's see. It depends on the genre. I think overall my favorite always been Tool. They're like a like progressive hard rock band, but they always incorporate a lot of like cool, weird puppetry and animation in their videos, along with having good music.
Mhm.
And I've always liked Run the Jewels and Eminem, and people are really good at clever lyrics. Kendrick Lamar. Um, yeah, I mean most of my music that I listen to is either that or more recently, the show Arcane on Netflix. They have a really good soundtrack. But I never heard of half the artists. I'm just like, oh, this is a vibe. Okay.
What is your favorite place to visit in Denver? Restaurants, parks, or businesses?
Oh, no, I get back so not often. I used to like going to the mall, but I feel like that place is going away because everything is delivered now. Um, I know I used to work at the Danbury Fair, no, not Danbury Fair Mall, Danbury Town Park as a lifeguard. Not saying that I visit there, but I love visiting the lake. I have friends who live on the lake now, so that's always a plus if I can get there in the summer.
Mhm.
Yeah.
What is your favorite food?
Favorite food?
Yeah.
Oh, that's impossible. Okay. Okay. The thing I can tell you, because I don't have a favorite meal by any means. I like everything. But when it comes to like candy, around Easter time, I think Easter has the best candy. Specifically, the robin's eggs. They're like the milk with the candy shell.
Those are so good.
Yeah. Thank God they're seasonal because I'd be really fat otherwise.
Yeah.
I feel like I go through like 2 pounds of those without noticing every year, and I get to actively not go down that aisle.
Yeah.
I'll eat it till my stomach hurts.
Yeah. What's your favorite drink?
Favorite drink? Coffee.
What about Dr. Pepper?
I don't drink much soda. I mean, I do drink a lot of seltzer. I don't know. I think when you get a little older, like I'm much more affected by sugar than I ever was, and it's sad. Like, I can feel myself getting really hyped up, and then like I get sleepy instantly, even with the caffeine. So I'm trying not to feel awful as much as I can. But when I was a kid, I would slam Mountain Dew all day, and like, oh, this is awesome. But now that actively hurts me.
What is your favorite vacation spot?
Vacation spot. Oh, I mean, there's a lot of places I'd like to go that seem nice. Like I've never been to Hawaii, but I'd like to go to a beach that is pretty like that. Um, I've been to a bunch of places in Mexico, but they were too hot. Uh, right now, I mean, I live in Colorado, and I'm like an hour and a half from like beautiful mountains, and those are a lot of cool places to go on vacation, especially if you ski or snowboard. I don't know if I have a favorite yet. I feel like I got to see more.
Starbucks or Dunkin'?
I try to find any place that's like more independent roasters, you know what I mean? That don't have like a big name on them. I've never been impressed by either one of them. You know what I mean? Like Dunkin' Donuts, it tastes. It's always given to me far too hot, so I have to wait 20 minutes to drink it. And then if it's like I don't drink a lot of with sugar, like I said, and it just tastes like generic coffee. Versus Starbucks, just always to me tastes burnt. I was like, someone just left this cooking too long. But like, there's if you can find places that do their own roasting and their own beans, it's probably going to cost a lot more, but you'll taste a huge difference. And now I'm a snob because of it.
Running or swimming?
Running or swimming? Running
Yeah.
by a long shot. Yeah.
Would you rather stay home or go out?
Depends what we're going out for. I like staying home because I like my place.
Yeah.
And I'm an artist, so I spend 90% of my time drawing by myself in like a dark room. So like because of that, I love social interaction, having fun with my friends. But like my wife and most of my friends work in an office where they have to talk to someone all day, so they want to come home and not do anything. And I'm like, let's go. So I'm good either way. But I think I guess I would prefer the more energizing aspect of being out with people and doing stuff. Yeah.
Are you a night owl or early bird?
Nowadays I'm definitely an early bird. It's much more than keeping my wife's schedule, but I used to be much more vampiric. I would have like if I had a deadline, I would just I had a day job and then I also have like an overnight deadline for like a newspaper or something.
Yeah.
Like you're already up at 8 o'clock or 7 o'clock, depending on, and then you work, 8 or 9 hours, and then you get home and it's like 8 o'clock, and now you're starting to do a painting that's due in the morning. And I'm too old for it now, but I used to do that a lot. Just be very tired from just staying up all night. Yeah.
Oh, paint or markers?
What's that?
Paint or markers?
Oh, paint. I've never really used markers to
Paper.
What do you guys paint and draw?
I draw.
I draw.
I paint because I have art class for my quarter.
Okay, but don't you have to do you start with the drawing and then paint it, or are you just going ham with the art with the paint?
Well, you have right now we're just doing where you draw lines and then you color each box a different color.
Okay, yeah.
Paper or canvas?
Paper. I don't really work on canvas at all. I work in like acrylic ink. Like I have a table just full of this stuff, like more table space than I can put paper on. And it's all stuff that can soak into the paper. That's what I'm very used to. So stuff like on canvas, that's much more like oil painters. I don't really do that.
What advice would you give to someone who wants to be an artist and or work as an artist later in life?
Advice for someone who's like your age?
Yeah.
I would say get a sketchbook, get some pencils in your pocket, and like be that weirdo who's always drawing when you guys are hanging out. You can always put it away if you want to do something, but like as long as you're making marks and responding to those marks and observing, and then try to draw something out of your head and then try to make it look realistic. That's all I do all day for 44 years now. Like, and that's the only reason I'm any good. Yeah.
That concludes our discussion with Scott Brundage. We truly appreciate you spending time with us today to tell us a little bit about yourself and what it's like to be an artist.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Thank you for tuning in to another great episode of Rogers That.
See you next time. Bye.